Hello, me again. Or bonjour, I should say. Bonjour because I'm playing on the left here as the second Blindee, the French division, the only French division we currently have in the game. Playing as these guys, trying to get in the spirit of things for the upcoming DLC, which is releasing on the 15th, which is going to feature a new French division. And whilst this division, the second Blindee, has been out for quite some time now, it's still really, really strong. Still very, very effective in 1v1s. You can use it in Vanguard, you can use it in Maverick, as I'm doing. You can even use it in Balance because it does have access to the M4A3s, which are capable of hitting hard and taking a few shots as well. Probably the closest thing that this battle group has to heavy tanks. Well, it's not really a heavy tank, it's just a kind of like a Firefly. But anywho, so I'm playing here on the left in red as the second Blindee on Maverick. My opponent, PEPEGASUS, is playing as the 17th Panzergrenadier, which is a pretty nasty division, really. You get access to the tractions, which he's already used to his advantage here. He's already rushed forward a load of these two-man squads, the Panzerschrecks and Flammenwerfers, to take a lot of this early ground. And he's holding this flag, this one on the north, and it's 9 to 15. He's already taken out one of my M8s. These Sapeurs need to unload. They're getting caught and getting caught out. In fact, they're going to go down. So it's a half track and some Sapeurs down. So pretty rough early on here initially. I've lost quite a few units to this early engagement. Combined firepower of these Voltigeurs Mitter and the half tracks able to pin down this MG that was up here. These are a good unit, these Voltigeurs Mitter, these two Brownings that they have access to. Kind of like effectively kind of shorter range MGs, like HMGs. That's kind of how I'm using them. So I'm using them to control, like, you know, medium to long range engagements that across this open ground would bring. So yeah, currently lost quite a few units. My M20 went down here, losing another Sherman. There's this, I think that was the SPW-233, in fact, which was getting an angle through the town there with its heat rounds. So another very, very strong unit that the 17th PanzerGrens get access to. They're super fast, and they have heat shells, so with 100 mils of penetration. So I've got to try and combat this advance. I did want to get these recon into this church, but this Flammenwerfer were there to prevent that from happening, so they've had to back off, and they're not really providing a whole lot of value. These Stugs are getting a veterancy from the Pioneer Furies just behind them, so these are going to be absolute little snipers. I'm going to need to get my Sapeurs and bazookas, close if I want to be able to take them out, because I'm a little bit light on tanks now as well. I've lost the Shermans that I had deployed here. This point on the north, this is very much a focus for both of us. You can hold it relatively easily. It's just a case of deploying units that are effective at close range, which is what we're both doing. He's got a Pioneer Führer, 2 Flammenwerfers and 2 SS Legionary, which are a good unit. They get the Molotov cocktails, and they're going to force units to move around, and then they're going to be able to get picked off by the G43s and Beretta. Is that M38? M38, Beretta M38s. I've got mortars back here, just to kind of help suppress units and enable me to push a bit more aggressively, which is kind of what I'm hoping here, to suppress the units that are in this cluster of buildings and then try and push up with my half tracks and my M8s. But whilst he's on a Vanguard deployment type, he is going to have the income advantage. So he's going to be able to just reinforce with more and more vehicles and pick off my ones. Well, he's already done a good job at picking off my vehicles. That Panzerschreck does go down, which is a nice kill for me. That half track going down as well, again getting sniped by the SPW-233, which really are kind of the best answer to like light armour. I think my mortar there getting a kill on that 233 and my Sapeurs with a nice bazooka shot on the Stug. So nice stuff there. Yeah, my plan was really to be supporting all my infantry with mortars and half tracks. So the use of light recon vehicles to take them out is pretty much a direct counter. Got engagement going up on the north now. 2 Flammen, or Flam, as they are, pushing up. But he's got 2 of his own, and they're getting supported by a Pioneer Fury, so I'd expect these to go down. I do have some Sapeurs available as well in reserve. Now that I know what's there, Going to push them up. But they're not really going to win against this large amount of units. I'm going to need something else to help me deal with them. Going to bring in a mortar to help. And we are bringing in the first DB-73 as well. He does have access, or he does have a Flak 36 in the town, but that's going to be not able to fire on the DB-73 here. And that's dropping pretty much perfectly, by the looks of things, onto those infantry. So I'm backing my squads off to let this bombing strike come in. And then does a good job actually, takes out 2 infantry units, pins down all 3, and they're now going to be getting the hell out of there. I didn't really want to push too aggressively with the half tracks, just in case there was an AT gun lurking in the forest. He's brought in a couple of ME-109s, which have this 30mm cannon, so they're going to be pretty good at strafe runs if they can catch up with the DB-73. But DB-73s are really, really quick once they put their payload down, and they fly so high as well that it makes it tough for a fighter to catch up and take it down. So he's going to need a few more Flak 36 if he wants an answer to them. I put it back to 12 all, now that I've taken this flag here on the north. I'm going to push these sappers and voltigeurs up to the tree line to use the heavy cover and shoot down on infantry that are caught out here in the open. And he's going to have to back them off if he doesn't want to lose these guys. Once that Pioneer Fury goes down, then they're going to be open to getting surrendered. So nice stuff there. He's now just strafing with these ME-109s. I don't really have a direct answer to them at the moment. Going to bring in a Bofors to sit back here and try and counter them. The 50 cals doing an okay job at suppressing at least one of them. But that's all they're really going to do. They fly too fast to get a kill. He's now bringing them onto the north, pinning down one of the voltigeurs. And now it just gives him something else to think about. He's going to be forced to spend some more money or points to retake this flag up here. With him playing on Vanguard, I would expect him to finish Phase A the stronger, and that is held true so far. The ticket loss very much in his favour. Combined firepower, these PanzerGrens actually have 2 MG 42s, which would probably explain why they're able to put down somewhat suppressive fire into my voltigeurs. I got this Sherman pushing up to try and help out. These guys are probably going to go down with a Stug firing on them as well. My M8 also going down to some more. These are the SP231s. So again, a nice light armoured vehicle. It's going to help him take out the infantry I've got in the town. What little infantry I've got in the town, I should add, because at the moment I'm looking a bit light after spending points in that DB-73 and the Bofors. I've not got a whole much more available here. I brought in an M10 to try and help me pick off some of these vehicles and Stugs, because my Shermans weren't really trading well enough. So I'm trying to bring those in to help out. Nothing really happening on the south. Got an M8 there just to watch the road, as well as a bazooka and some voltigeurs, but not really needed at the moment. Got my DB coming in. I spotted this Flak 36, and I thought once I get rid of that, I can then start bombing a few more infantry in the town. So I'm going to go for the direct kill, confident that this thing could drop its payload, then get out alive, because it's only 1 Flak 36 at the moment. So it's the right thing to do before we can get 2 in there. Only putting it down, not getting the kill, but it takes out 5 men, so it could be worse, I suppose. Really, this is the only place I can deploy my men safely at the moment, other than sort of down here, because he does have a watch, and whilst he's holding this flag up here with the Panzer Shreks and Flammenwerfers, it's tough for me to deal with. Bringing in his first Ju-87, but so many 50 cals, and the Bofors. I don't know if it did get its payload off. I think we would have heard and seen it if it had. These SPWs probably pushing a little bit too close here. If this bazooka can get it shot off, should be able to kill at least 1. Needs to get out into that other building, but the Stug and the SP231 doing enough to stop them from getting the kill. Trying to use my M10 now to just sort of pick off units where it can down this main road. Gets a nice kill there. These are 2-star veterancy, so they already aim pretty quickly. Bit lucky there to survive that shot from the Stug, and then trading very nicely there. Do get a load of wounded, so I'm going to back that off until he's ready to fire again. So that's a couple of bits of light armour down. He's got a Flak 36 on this north side again, so he obviously doesn't want to be getting bombed like he did last time. I am holding the flag just about. Another bombing run coming in here onto the units in this, or on this street. Nice kill from that DB as well. That's two infantry squads going down there. So this is really just how I need to play this at the moment. Just pick off units where I can. Try and make them a little bit lighter. I think that was the Stug that got the kill on that M10 there. And the half-track. So he's now got control of this flag as well. We're back down to 15 to 9. We are now going into phase B, which is where I have my income advantage. Got two Bofors on the field now. Just to help solidify and stop him from... he's already got the light vehicle and medium armor advantage. I didn't want him to have the air advantage as well. Nice kill from on the open blitz there. I think my bazooka got the kill, exposed itself, and does go down. This M10, the HE shells haven't been turned off yet, but it is actually firing with its AP shells with a nice shot into this Stug, and these things take a long time to aim. Showing its side armor there, getting taken out by the M10. They fire so quickly, these M10s, they aim so quickly. So they've been a good counter so far to the Stugs. This Ju-87 coming in to try and take out this Sherman, and it's going to get the kill. I need these Bofors really to focus on one of these planes. They're kind of shifting their aim at the moment. This Ju-87 could go down here. It's flying a little bit too close to the two Bofors. I'd be surprised if it made it out. And indeed it doesn't. So that goes down. That's one less plane to deal with. This Ju-87 just about surviving. I think it probably would have gone down if it hadn't been for that other Ju-87 taking the fire away. But the AT plane is probably more valuable than the bomber. So I've learnt my lesson here. I'm going to try and focus on fixing my aim on set aircraft from this point. He's trying to push up pretty aggressively with these Pioneer, see what was in this building. But the Bofors getting the side shot there. And while this was my safe area, it is now all the way back here, and I'm going to be reliant on breaking up some of these infantry squads. He's got a distinct lack of medium armor now that a few of the Stugs have been picked off. And I've got a few Sherman, well, I've got a Sherman, two Shermans in fact, and two M10s ready to push. These volunteers pushing quite aggressively. I just wanted to kind of probe and see what I was going to be dealing with here if I did want to make a push. But he does have enough MGs to prevent them from unloading into a building, and they're going to get caught a little bit out in the open here. So we're going to have to push up these Shermans to try and help out. Two more fighters coming in. The SPW-231 does go down to the Sherman. These are both focusing on one fighter. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted to make sure they were focusing on just one. But it looks like it's going to get away somehow. Pretty lucky there in my opinion. With these PanzerGrens going down, he's not got too much to suppress my infantry that want to push up. I've got some units up here which I wanted to kind of bring in down this road. It's one of the tough things about this map. This is Harashai. You really do have to deploy your infantry quite manually. You've got to bring them in all the way from the left side and then down this road if you want to attack from sort of two different areas, because otherwise they do all just come in from like one or two roads, which can be pretty tough to deal with. Looks like he's going to bring in a 122mm, the Russian artillery piece, and a Flak 4188 to help out this Flak 36 that's back here. Still nothing really happening on the south. He has managed to retake this flag on the north, but it's cost him quite a few points. He's had to invest in some AA up here. How much are these Legionary? They're 20 points, so actually they're pretty cheap. These Legionary squads, they're pretty effective at 20 points really. Fanatical, Tank Buster, and a Flamer. Pretty solid unit. Gonna need to invest in more of my flamethrowers and pioneers if I want to deal with them. Got this mortar firing on this MG here, which is suppressing my infantry that come in from down this way, but I realised after I told it to shoot on that MG, it probably wasn't going to take it out in time, so I thought I'd just bite my lip and go for the bombing run, which does get the kill. So another nice kill there from the DB-73. I've got quite a lot moved into this central area now. He's going to need to bring in some off-map really if he wants to disperse of this clump of units. He's now marking my AA, which did shoot down, I think that was a Ju-88. So they're going to be targeting them or something. He is now bringing in the off-map, this 152mm, which is going to be the key here, really, for both of us. I'm going to need some off-map of my own. So here we go. We both bring in an off-map at the same time. Obviously, both thinking the same thing. The double tick has slowed from a 14 or down to a 14 to 10. I'm reluctant to push on this north side until I've got a few more units that are ready to help out. These are just going to go in and get picked off if I push now, so I need to wait for a few more reinforcements. This off-map dropping in what looks like a pretty perfect spot. It's going to be very capable of taking out my M10s with their open top. Even the Shermans as well. My infantry that pushed on this north side have now managed to get down the road and take out the squads that were in these buildings. There weren't too much here, there were mainly just PanzerGrens flamers and legionaries. And now that they're gone, it's going to allow me to push up a bit more aggressively into this town. Down to 13 to 11. I've got this half track just sort of storming on to try and get the kill onto this MG, which has been with him, I think, since the start. That's going to get pinned down and hopefully going to die off. Got another bombing strike coming in here onto that street, but it is going to get taken out by the ME-109 this time. Off-map IB's coming down whilst this Ju-87's coming in. Got both Bofors firing on the Ju-87, so I'd be disappointed if it made it out alive. Which it doesn't. I think the off-map did a good job there, took out maybe, I know the M10's still retreating, but definitely managed to slow the pace of the attack down. Got an M4A3 Spahi, which is firing through here. A nice little unit this, only 40 points, is a recon. Not going to trade terribly well with a Stug 4, going to want to move it away from that engagement, which I'm not going to do in time, as it's going to go down. This MG is somehow invincible, and they're just refusing to die at this point. More off-map coming down here, whilst mine's still back in reserve. I was waiting for a concrete spot to put it in before I commit to it. I do have a commander, which is right on the fringe of this off-map, but needs to get out of there if he wants to be sure of survival. Looks like the off-map has slowed down now. Oh no, still firing away. But it is now 14 to 10. I managed to take out the units that were in here. I think potentially another bombing strike came in. Oh no, sorry. The Pioneers did push on with the flamethrowers, and I think combined they were able to take out the squads that were here. So that does give me a ticket advantage now. Also pushing up and able to shoot through the buildings onto this Flak 36, which is a lovely kill. These Sapeurs just about getting their shot off onto that Stug 4 as well. So he's now lost quite a few units in a short space of time here, and dropping some off-map of my own into an area which I knew he had some units at. He's still got PanzerGren holding this southern area of the town. There's no flag here, but I do need to secure that if I just want to avoid getting flanked, so I'm going to have to invest in some infantry to push along down here. I think I was a bit fortunate that my M10s didn't get picked off earlier by the off-map, with the third strike coming down here. And I'm going to take out some of my infantry and just sort of loosen up this this town for him now. My off-map is now finally dropping for the first time, which is of course higher caliber. Nice shot there from the Sherman onto the Stug 4. Is it going to be able to take out the 231? Surprised that looked like it dropped right on top of it, and it still survived. So no kills, but not going to be able to use the Pak 38 in the SPW for the time being. Looks like he's got this 122mm firing on the M10 back here, so he's obviously getting visual on this somehow. And just like the off-map, this is more than capable of killing it. I need to move this if I want to ensure that it survives. We've both reinforced on this northern area now. He's got more of these legionnaires. These are pretty much, I assume now that he's used his flamethrowers, his only answer two of my units up here, but 2 units of Pioneers and 1 unit of Le Flanc. Going to be tough to dislodge. I think at this point in the game, my opponent was starting to get a little bit irate. He started saying in the chat, he was talking about the second Blindee being in easy mode, and he mentioned if he lost, he wasn't going to give me a GG because I picked a division which is just cheating, really. Whilst they're definitely strong, I would by no means say that they're a cheat. You know, the 17th PanzerGren are more than capable of besting the second Blindee. And you know, they do, it is a very strong division, by no doubt, but I think they're stronger out there. So I'm not sure I fully agree with his comments. The 122mm does take out the Sherman there. Still just using its HE shell, but able to get the kill. Got the DB drop in. Looks like it is on 122mm, but that's going to go down from the Flak 41. And the fighter close behind. Not able to get the kill on the 122mm, but going to be able to stop it from firing. He's got these infantry out here in the open now, and he's going to have to bring in this Stug if he wants to save them from getting picked off by the half-tracks. Got more of my mortars firing down here as well. Do lose out of my Sherman there. I don't know what that was to. Oh, it would have been the Stug, I imagine. So I think so far we've both been using off-map to like in good effect. His bombers haven't been able to be as effective as mine, just simply because I think I've invested heavier in AA. He hasn't managed to retake this northern side. I do have these mortars here to help out, but they're firing just a little bit too late. This Stug just really out of range of my sappers, which are holding down here. I need to back them off if they want to survive the barrage. Got this M10 moving up to engage the Stug. So I've got 2 Shermans and an M10 up here to help me out. Quite a lot of 50 cals as well to help me deal with the infantry. Nice shot there on the Stug, gets a side shot and gets a shooter killed, so it's not going to be able to fire back. Starting to bounce here. This M10 needs to push up, or this Sherman needs to come back, which it is going to do, but not going to be needed. Stug's going down. And he's looking pretty light on units now. If I wanted to, I could probably push up and take this flag. I need to take out some of these AT guns before I do so. That Stug 4 deploying along this road, coming a little bit too close to my sappers who use their bazookas. Sappers are just a very, very strong unit. They've been effective throughout this game so far at picking off not only infantry but the tanks as well. This ME-109 on a bit of a death mission here, surely going to go down. Yep, to all these 50 cals and the Bofors, not going to get very far. It looks like he's starting to run low on tanks. Well, maybe he's not running low, but he's being forced to invest in infantry just to prevent mine from pushing far and taking this flag and, you know, removing these AT guns he's got. My mortars doing a good job of pinning down this Flak 41, but they're not really going to kill it unless they expend pretty much all of their ammo. I need to get these volunteers or something pushed into one of these buildings to help out on that front. Another off map, going to drop in what looks to be a decent area once again. We're starting to see this town just getting absolutely leveled now. Lots of smoke, lots of craters all over the place. Maybe a little bit surprised these Voltigeurs getting pinned down as easily as they are at the moment by these MG34s. I feel like the suppression at the moment on this game is maybe a little bit too effective. Maybe it shouldn't be as strong as it is. I mean, I guess in real life, if you've got MGs firing at you, you are gonna, you know, be cowering and hiding for cover as best as you can, but I don't know. Some guns seem to be able to do it incredibly well, and pretty much all AR guns are. Off map coming down, doing a nice job, taking out the units in this area, and the mortar coming down. Takes out one of the Stugs. This Stug's falling back. PEPEGASUS has had enough. No GGs, because he feels I've cheated in my use of the second blind, but I would strongly disagree. So I was really happy with the result, because it was looking pretty rough initially. He was getting a double tick throughout the whole of Phase A, so for me to come back and win it eventually in Phase C after reclaiming the town during my Maverick income advantage, I was really happy to have used the units I had on the deck as I did. So GG to PEPEGAS, even if you won't give me a GG. Well played. I'm sure I'll play you again and you'll be able to get your own back. But until then, we ta-ta and farewell.